folks, and welcome back to Shout Esports. My name is Jess Brohard, and as this series winds to a close, we're going to spend this last episode in our how-to segment on some general tips, tricks, and FAQs that I've received over the years as a host, caster, and content creator. My first bit of advice for you is get feedback on your work. The best way to get more sponsors, get more viewers, or get hired for more gigs is to just get better. And to get better, you need to know what you need to improve on. So you should get feedback from both friends and family, as well as from professionals if you're able to. Many quote-unquote professionals, like streamers and consultants, are willing to give you plenty of advice and feedback, sometimes even entirely for free, but you have to start with something. Don't ask, how do I build a brand? Or what kind of content should I create? Because this kind of general question is really hard to answer, and it asks them to do a lot of the work that you should be doing. Instead, brainstorm some concepts, come up with a name and a logo, and then ask people what they think. And don't forget to critique yourself as well. Always watch your own work, even though it might be hard to do, and take note of what you want to improve on for next time. While you're getting that feedback, another way to improve is to learn from those you admire. If there's a host, caster, YouTuber, or streamer whose work you really love, take some cues. Even if you can't open a dialogue with them and use them as a mentor, they can still be a role model from afar. Of course, you don't want to blatantly rip off their branding or anything like that, but you can learn from their on-camera presence, their delivery, their editing, or anything else you like about them. Another tip I'd like to share with you is how to get guests on your podcast or show. Now, interview content can be very entertaining, and a lot of established casters and creators are willing to be a guest on your show, but you have to do all the legwork for them. Shoot them an email or DM with info like what your show is about, why you want them to be a guest, and what days and times you usually record or go live for the show. Don't just ask, "Wanna be on my show?" and make them meet you halfway. You're asking them to do you a favor. Now, you are going to get a lot of no's, so my next tip is how to deal with rejection. It's tough, but it's an inevitability, so you need to look at each rejection as a learning opportunity. If you're passed over for a hosting gig, look at the hosts they end up hiring and see what you can learn from them. If you invite someone to be a guest on your show and they ghost you, look at the shows that person has guested on before and figure out what you can do better with yours. And at the end of the day, each rejection is practice handling the next one, because there's always a next one. Additionally, an attitude of letting those rejections roll off your back will serve you well when it comes to handling trolls. Their entire goal is to make you feel bad about yourself, so the best thing you can do is not let them. If you're hired to host a broadcast and you see a troll in chat saying you're a bad host, just remember, trolls do not hire you, trolls do not sign your paychecks, so the trolls do not get to have an opinion. Of course, there are some times where chat or comments can provide legitimate feedback on your work, and sometimes it can be presented in kind of a negative way. It's a skill that you'll have to develop to be able to separate the constructive critique from the needless criticism. It's also easy to get hung up on mistakes, like if you stutter or say something incorrect or if something else goes wrong. But the beauty of this business is that it's not open heart surgery. If you make a mistake, what's the worst that could happen? And when those mistakes or awkward moments happen, they can actually sometimes go viral and create new memes, so just lean in. If you feel like you're stuck in a rut, change something up. If you've been streaming for a while and you're not growing, or you've been casting a ton and not getting hired for the gigs you want, doing the same thing you've been doing isn't going to get you different results. So explore different types of content or different games. Really just try anything different, even if it's a little out there. You never know what'll work. And don't put yourself in a box. If there's a game that you're dying to cast for, but you instead get an offer to work on a game that you're a little less excited for, take the offer you have and do a great job with it. You never know what that opportunity might lead to, and you can establish yourself as a caster and then segue over to the games that you really want to work on. And above all else, be patient. I know we all want to succeed as soon as possible, but good things can take time. And the only sure way to fail is to give up. You never know what might be waiting just around the corner. Well, that does it for this episode, but as always, you can hit me up on social media at Jess Brohard if you have any other questions, or hop into my Discord server at discord.gg/Jess. And I'll see you later for our very last episode of Shout Esports. Bye!